All right, guys, you're watching the Frickin' Frack Show podcast for the fans, by the fans.
We
What?
love you
Gotta
guys.
go.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Frickin' Frack Show.
This is the podcast for the fans, by the fans. We are very excited to introduce our next guest, Mrs. Leighanne Littrell.
Yeah.
Littrell.
You name
I'll
it.
answer to all of
Look,
it.
she's already clearing up the confusion.
Literal. Well, you could say
Wow.
literally. That's what I
Literally.
always say. It's literal me. Literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
For the millions of people that are watching at home, we could not be more excited to have you on as our first big name guest. I thank you for taking the time to sit down with us. This means the world to us, and it's going to mean the world to a lot of people at home. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Sam. A big name. I really do have a big name. It's really long.
It is. It's a lot
Leighanne
of letters.
Littrell, right? Thank you guys, though. Seriously.
It's just a matter of spelling it right. That's where I have to
Right?
Google it every time.
It's
I would have to.
crazy. Yeah, my mom did that to me. I think just to make
It's the
sure
H.
that
It's the H.
GH is like
it
a
throws me
Hannah.
off.
Yeah. I've been called Leighanne Rena because my middle name is Renee and my mom forgot the hyphen.
Uh-oh.
So,
Wow.
so now I'm Rena.
Wow, that's awesome.
Right?
First of all, how's everybody doing at home? Are you guys healthy? Everybody doing good?
We're great. We're totally great. We're so used to this. We're so used to the being at home, homeschooling, or being together in a bus or being together on tour. So granted, I hate that, everything's like different and shut down, but we're doing pretty good here.
That's awesome.
We got to commend you guys. I mean, through all of it, you guys have managed to find a way to keep content out for people like Caleb and myself and the thousands of people at home that to keep us doing something. We got to keep the gears turning. We got to stay productive somehow. And you guys have honestly been amazing at it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. A lot of cooking. I said to everybody that lost weight on COVID, I found it, so come get it. Because I don't want it anymore. I'm going to do a lost and found for everybody's weight they lost.
Come pick up your baggage. Come get it.
Oh,
Here it is. No, yeah, we've been cooking a lot too, which has been crazy. Like, I mean, I cook anyway, but we never have a lot of time. And so we've been cooking and writing, and we're a crazy little family. We sing all the time. And awesome. We're just, we're just here.
Singing
we're
happy
normal.
Birthday.
Yes, my mom's birthday is actually today.
Oh, y'all making a video for her?
We are totally. We did AJ, and then my another best friend is on the day before AJ. My best friend is tomorrow, and her mother's today. So I've got a ton of people in this little bitty. They're all Capricorns.
That's awesome.
Not to mention Christmas and New Year's, and I mean, you guys have just been busy.
Oh my gosh! Well, Bailey's birthday. He turned 18 this year. So
happy birthday,
18-year-old son.
It's we're so doomed. The first thing he wanted to do was get a tattoo. I was like, can we just wait on that? Actually, the first thing he did was vote, which is really funny.
That's awesome.
That's what he wanted to do. So it's so funny. He's my political baby. So maybe he'll be president one day. I don't know.
Hey, you know what? One can only hope.
Right?
That's every parent's dream.
Right.
Or
except
not.
For I was like,
I don't know.
I was gonna say, don't do anything bad ever, and you'll be fine.
They'll dig it up.
With somebody with a family like you guys, everything's documented. Everything's on video or everything's on record. So,
it's crazy.
So the first thing that we wanted to dig into here, we've got our notes pulled up. So we want to know more about you, more about the pre-Backstreet era, growing up, the influences.
She's like,
something that we've learned. How much
time do we have?
We have all the time in the world for you, Leighanne. All the time in the world. So where did you grow up? I mean, first of all, and secondly, a lot of fans have reached out to us and said that you were in the acting business, that you wanted to be an actress.
Mm-hmm. Well, I grew up in Marietta, Georgia, eons ago.
Been there.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
My dad was a firefighter, mom was a hairdresser, and they've
Wow.
split up since I was 3. So pretty much, one of those lives. But yeah, I don't know. I've just probably been singing and performing since I was out of the womb. And from I think from when I was 8, I said I wanted to go to Hollywood and be an actor. And so I've been in either I've taken like musical theater classes, film, commercial, modeling. I did it all. So I ended up in LA, and I think I was there. How long was I there? Not 5 months maybe. And then that's when I got cast on the video shoot. I mean, talk about hustle, because
Wow.
we didn't have internet then, right?
Yeah.
So we didn't have like texting or anything. We had the beepers. Yeah, I'm aging myself.
Oh, yes,
So yeah, and
indeed.
it's so, I mean, I had a cell phone, but it was the brick one,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, the
Oh.
bag, the
Yeah,
bag phone. Yeah.
I was so cool, right? I was like, oh, this big thing. Yeah, but I literally, I mean, I busted my rump. I got cast in a few things here in Georgia. They sent me out for was it Jam Bay was a pilot. They Mary Ellis Bunham that started the whole MTV what is it, the
Yes.
live, what was it? They did it, filmed Our World. It was
Our world.
anyway, I'll think of it in just a minute. Anyway, it was their first series where they did like basically live TV where it's oh my gosh, what do we call it now? Reality. Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Oh, there it is.
Reality
There it is.
Reality
TV.
TV.
There it comes. I mean, I've only had a half a cup of coffee, so
Are you talking about the
reality
real
TV.
world? Are you
The
talking about the
real
real?
world. Thank you. Yes. So
Oh,
My
yes.
goodness.
yes, right.
Wow.
So she and Mary Ellis Bunham and her partner, she has since passed. They came to Atlanta and like all over the big cities, and they found this talent. And then they auditioned us and then blew us out. And then they did another talent thing. And so it ended up that we got cast. So like 2 people
Wow.
from Georgia. And so we did this pilot for 3 months in Marina Del Rey, and they changed
Wow.
it to the name to it Jam Bay. So we did it. It was great. And then from there on, I stayed out. I moved back to LA and started acting. So, but we did like mail-ins. I had to write notes and
Oh,
letters and send my headshots. And there was there was maybe email. No, not even email at the time.
yeah.
So I remember the first meeting I got with a manager. I met her when we were doing our premiere of Jam Bay, and she was like, "Oh, when you're in town, look me up." And I'm like, "Okay." So I kept everybody's card.
Oh
I
yeah.
kept
Oh yeah.
everything. And I knew for some reason she liked cows. So I sent her a card that said, "Hey, Leighanne, you told me to look you up." So I said, "Hey, by the way, if you want to know what you call a cow with 3 legs, just give me a call." And that was it. So she had to call me to find out the answer. So I did get a meeting. She did not rep me,
Wow.
but
I'm
that's
from
how it is.
Nebraska. So you want to talk about cows? You just come down to Nebraska anytime. I'll give you a tour. We'll show you around.
Well, do you know
Yes,
what they call a
indeed.
cow with 3 legs?
I don't. I was hoping you'd tell me.
No.
Lean beef.
Oh, man.
All right.
Oh, but it
That's
got me a
great.
meeting. It got me a meeting. So yeah, so I was acting and I mean, that was my thing. That was what I was gonna do. And I guess I was in LA for I'm so bad with dates. I think 5, 6 months. And then I got cast on As Long As You Love Me video shoot because a casting
Wow.
director saw my headshot for a beer commercial and he pulled it. And then he pulled it for the boys video. And
Wow.
he had a crush on me actually. So he wanted to date me. So that's why he wanted to get me the job. And I ended up on that video shoot, and then the rest is history. So
Yeah, I never have that
Man.
problem where somebody just looks at me and says, I want to date you. Let's
Yeah.
go.
I just
Yeah.
want
Let's
to
go.
date you.
I never.
You want to be
never.
famous? Come on.
Come on. I can put you in a video.
Right.
Yeah. Make you a
Right.
star.
Yeah, that's something Caleb and I talk about a lot, is
Yeah.
how hard everything must have been back then, because you're literally
Yep.
writing letters. There is no email. Like
Mhm.
us 3 communicating via text and email and all that.
Via
Forget about it.
satellite.
Yeah.
Exactly, because of Instagram or
Yeah.
because of Audrey, a fan.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Shout out
I
to
mean,
Audrey.
gosh,
Yes.
We love you.
And she brings me chocolate croissants when we're in
That's
town.
awesome.
Oh,
That's
yes,
Even
awesome.
better,
indeed.
even better. But yeah, so I mean, like it was like the real deal. Like, I was hungry.
Yeah.
I lived in a really bad apartment in West
Wow.
Hollywood, but we had a great pool. But yeah, I mean, I pounded the pavement and made sure that I did my due diligence and was kind of pretty much on my way until I met him. then and then everything was like
Wow,
so
that's
yeah,
amazing though. That's
it's crazy. I mean, like and I'm your hometown homegirl. My dad was a drummer actually half my life, and came,
wow.
recorded some albums, and he actually got to play for Elvis at a New Year's Eve party
No
in
way.
1968.
This is an
Yes.
exclusive, guys.
Man.
That's pretty amazing.
It's so cool. So Elvis hired
Wow.
the band, and he played for him while he sang. And my mom met him. He was so cool. So, needless to
Wow.
say, I'm a big, huge Elvis fan.
So am I.
So we have fan submitted questions, and what we thought about was going through an era and then asking a question that's relevant to that.
Perfect.
Caleb, do you have a question pulled up there, my man?
I do. I actually have one that I personally want to ask because it's
Okay.
always important. Because I lived in Atlanta for a few years.
Did you?
Yes, ma'am. Atlanta treated me like I belonged there for about 3.5 years. It was a beautiful. I'd go jogging and someone would stop me, not to rob me, but to ask how my day is. Just the people there are just. And I'm in Louisiana right now. We're known for
Oh,
our
you are.
Southern hospitality, but Atlanta's hospitality to me was wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I thank you. I do have a question because it's always important for anyone who lives anywhere near Atlanta. But are you a fan of Nancy's Pizza?
Nancy's Pizza. I don't know. I feel ashamed that I don't know this.
Oh man,
Is
it's
it? Is
the
it
deep
in it?
dish.
Well, I love deep dish. But like, is
Oh
it downtown
man,
Atlanta or like?
yes. There's
Okay.
now there's like four locations all around Atlanta and surrounding areas.
Why
But
would I? Look, I'm gonna put this in my
oh,
thing right now and see why I don't know Nancy's.
Nancy's is incredible.
Well, it's so funny you said that because one of my friends, when Bailey was doing Eddie's Attic, brought some pizza, and it was like a pizza place that had been there for like years and years and years and years and years, and it
Oh,
was
come
probably the best
on.
pizza I've ever had. And now I can't remember, but I'll
Was it
text it to you when
Carlos?
I don't know. And apparently it's a hole in the wall. They just brought it to me, but it's like a hole in the wall, and their family's been in business forever. And I seriously have never had a better pizza in my life. I'll ask my
Rosa's,
friend.
Carlos. Oh, that's
I'm so glad. Oh wait, look, I'm writing down Nancy's Pizza so I can remember and he'll
yeah,
look it up. But
definitely
I'll
stop
text you and tell
there.
you the other one. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. No, Varsity. I'm a Varsity girl. Like, did you ever eat at the Varsity?
The Varsity Bar.
No, it's like the Varsity. It's the first fast food chain of ever,
Oh, I'm sorry.
and
The
it's
hot
only.
dogs. Hot dogs.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yes,
Like,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I have them come to the house like on 4th of
Come
July. They
on.
bring the food truck. Yeah, yeah.
Varsity
And when
is incredible.
it is.
So
It is.
Nancy's and Varsities. If you guys are
You have to do
listening,
the Varsity.
Yes.
we are always looking for sponsors and advertisement space.
Yes.
Here you go. This is a free one. This is your one free one.
The Varsity onion rings.
And the chili cheese slaw dog.
Chili cheese dogs.
Just,
The first time I
wow.
ever had, the only time I ever had a chili hot dog, Varsity. They told me I
It's so
couldn't have a
good.
plain one.
You can't naked dog. No, you
And they
can't.
said I couldn't have a naked dog, and I said okay. And I was
You
like,
gotta have
give
it.
me, first time I ever tried chili was 5 years ago, 6 years ago at the Varsity.
Are you kidding?
No
Not kidding.
way.
Not kidding.
That's crazy.
Never had chili in my life. And still haven't, by the way, since the Varsity.
Oh my God. Okay. Well,
Dude.
you guys have to come in and wait Varsity.
We're in.
Yes.
We're in.
We
We'll
are
be there soon. On our way.
absolutely in.
Hey, let's shut this podcast down. I'm coming.
Bye.
Yeah, let's take it to the streets.
Hey, gotta go.
Yay, you did.
I did it.
You
Talking
did.
about chili, I'm here in Nebraska, and I find it dumbfounding that nobody does this. We do chili and cinnamon rolls. Is that not a thing anywhere else? You guys don't mix them?
No.
Okay.
Wait,
All
you
right.
put chili on the cinnamon roll?
Oh, dude, no. So we take the cinnamon roll and we take that baby and we use it as a spoon, man. I'm telling you, and it's
Are you
so good.
kidding?
That's gross.
It's
Okay, I'll try
no, dude, try it. I'm telling you.
I'm totally
telling you.
trying it. It sounds disgusting, but that's why I'll try it.
Thank
It
you.
might be great. Husband eats peanut butter and Fritos. I think that's disgusting. And he
That's
likes
almost-
barbecued. Yeah, barbecue Fritos and peanut butter. It's just
Come
gross.
on, Brian.
Wow.
Come
I'm like,
on, man.
yeah, I don't know. I have to talk
He's
to him about
disappointing
that.
me
You-
already.
but I
So
make good chili. So.
I bet you do. There's not even a
You-
question. I guarantee it. We have a question from BSB Fan Forum.
Yes.
So talking about your acting days and your and getting started, they want to know. Please ask Leighanne about her time filming her scenes on Wild America, a deep cut,
I
a deep cut.
Well, oh my God, Wild America. That was so much fun. I'm not gonna lie.
wow.
We had Jack Lemmon and James Garner on that one, and
wow.
Bradley Whitford. Wait, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of My Fellow Americans. That's My Fellow Americans and Wild America. I did them like side by side. That was Devin Sawa and that really famous boy that was on Home Improvement. I'll think of his name in a minute. That was
Tim
a
Allen.
hoot. The kid.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yes, thank you,
Yes,
thank you,
Jonathan
JTT.
Taylor.
He
Yes.
was
I'm
the
here
first
for you guys.
JT.
I'm here for you
Thank
guys.
you. I mean, listen, if I have 2 more cups of coffee, we're great. I mean, I literally, I'm a night person. That was fantastic. I was a little upset because the girl I played a sister, and the girl that was supposed to be my older sister, she was actually younger, and she was with this talent agent that was casting for it. So because she took her classes, she got a bigger role. And that just like, you know how Hollywood is,
Yep.
just who you know. But it turned out I'm glad, because it was the real deal. I mean, you audition for a movie and you think it's going to be, it'll be like some independent or small thing. It's a big deal. We had a
Wow.
great time. Jonathan Taylor Thomas was awesome. I could have just like adopted him. He was so cute. But it was a great start. It was a great I think I did that one, then Wild America, and that's when James Garner and Jack Lemmon and everybody were on that. But it was fantastic. Like, I got a speeding ticket going there, driving to the
Just
set.
so
He
excited.
was like-
So excited.
It was
So on a record.
I used to fall asleep driving, so I was literally out. But I
Wow.
got 2 speeding tickets within like 44 minutes of each other.
Holy
But I made it on time.
Yes,
That's the
ma'am.
most important.
No, but it was great. I mean, they had like Wild America was with it was a story about Jack Hanna. He was the guy that did so it was like kind of his life story.
Wow,
And
that's
what the
cool.
crazy thing is that they had all these like owls and stuff like on set. So that was really cool. But years later, like 2 years ago, he was in Vegas for the Backstreet Boys show, and I got to meet him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Jack Hanna.
That's
I
awesome.
was like, this is so cool.
And the
So,
world
but-
turns.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, I was in a movie about your life. And he was like, okay, you want my autograph? Sure, I'll take it. But no, it was a great experience. So I don't even know what to say other than I learned a lot, and everybody was fantastic. And I love it. I love acting, love directing, love producing, love it all.
It's amazing.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
Wow.
So we have so much more to dive into, but we need to take a short break. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to get more about Leighanne's life.
All right, guys, you're watching the freaking Frack Show podcast for the fans, by the fans. What?
We love
So I absolutely am excited about this. You need to understand how much, as long as you love me is like my anthem of my life, the song of my life. So it's a great big honor and pleasure to even ask you about this, but I just want to know, like, just walk us through, as long as you love me, music video, what happened? How did it happen? I mean, just everything about the,
Whole experience.
We're excited for this.
yeah.
Well, so As Long As You Love Me, I how it started, I told you before we broke that this casting director actually got me the job, and because he wanted to date me. Well, I was the sixth girl added on this video shoot. There was only supposed to be 5 girls. So he had talked the director into adding me. And so I'm there. I'm already like the odd man out, right? And I don't think the director liked here. I'm gonna get there. I don't think the director liked me that much because I was the sixth person he had to add in. But getting there was really hard because I didn't have GPS, I didn't have iMaps or maps or Google or nothing. I had the Tom's guide. It was like this big book. I had to look latitude, longitude. It was horrible, and I'm horrible with maps. So needless to say, I was about 30 minutes late. And I had no idea it was a music video. So I was going in for I thought it was like a training video or a restaurant video. I had no idea.
Wow.
So I went in and went into the wrong, there was this huge warehouse and I heard this music and I'm like, what? So I go in from the wrong side. So I'm literally crossing while they're filming. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I have all my clothes. It was jacked up. But what I learned in acting school was to make friends with everybody, introduce yourself with the lighting and the sound and everybody. So I went to wardrobe, I put my stuff down. And the next thing I know, Brian, who I didn't know who the Backstreet Boys were, nobody did at that time, walks over with a basketball and a cup of coffee. And he had said, hey. And I said, hey. And he was like, I said, I'm Leighanne. He goes, yeah, I know. And I was like, well, you do? And he's like, yeah. He said, I had the liberty of looking at your headshot before, you got here. And I was like, really? So we talked, we shook, well, actually we bumped butts because we both had our hands full. And that was our first handshake. But yeah, so is that crazy? And I remember the video shoot was so much fun. We literally, from the day we met, I remember the second day of shooting, he asked me out and I was busy. I was busy because I had plans. I think it was like Father's Day or something. And I was going to a friend's house and he asked me out and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I have plans. And he looks at me all funny and he goes, well, and I said, but I'm free tomorrow night. And he was like, well, I didn't ask you out for tomorrow night. And I said, but we went out tomorrow night. And then they were filming tomorrow night. They were filming the Backstreet's Back. They were filming that one.
Yeah, I know that
so
one.
I went to that. Yeah, that little one. Yeah. So literally from the day we met, we hung out since the day we met. We fell in love.
That is awesome.
Super
That's
crazy.
all I ever wanted to know in my life. I feel like I can just go,
and your whole long life. No, it was great though. I'm telling you, like the guys were great. I fell in love with them, at the time, and they're all the same. They're all this 20 something years later. They all had their same little quirks and their personalities, and they're good dudes.
Absolutely.
Well, that'll lead into this question from Kim Herdman. What is the one thing about Brian that gets under your skin, Leighanne?
Good or bad? Like,
I'll go with both.
Okay. Oh, well, gosh. How long do we have?
We have
what's
44 minutes.
Okay, so Brian talks, but when he talks, he explains everything in detail. So I could say that black dog jumped over the red shoe. And husband would say, do you know that dog who came from Nebraska, whose parents were so-and-so, that he loved to eat chili, right? I'm like, I'm telling you, he goes through, and I'm like, just get to the point, just tell the story. So yeah, he's a talker. Everybody knows he's a talker. So that really, sometimes I just I kind of exit and he thinks I'm watching. I've got that down. Or I know what he's going to say. I'm the worst at knowing what he's going to say before he says it. And he gets you didn't know I was going to say that. So now I'm doing it with TV shows. I'm like, she's going to say this, this, and this, and this. He's
like, yes.
So I'm really bad at it. So now I just kind of, that's the bad part. The good part, oh my gosh. I don't know. There's too many good things to choose, but his humor, and his heart is so big,
Yeah.
That's why I fell in love with him, with his heart and his humor. And of course he's attractive, but it's just sometimes you could be the prettiest person or the most handsome person in the world, but your personality makes you ugly.
Yes,
so he's got both going for him.
No. Let me ask you this. What's the what's the biggest thing besides meeting Brian that you remember about the As Long As You Love Me shoot?
The biggest thing I remember, probably, it's so funny. Besides actual shooting or behind the scenes?
Both.
Both.
I remember we were sitting catering at the time because it was in a big warehouse. There's a huge long table where everybody would sit and get their food and eat. And we were all eating, and I'm sitting there, and Brian usually was just take it, and I'm like, sure, sit down. And by the end of our meal, he was feeding me chocolate cake, so that was pretty cool.
Yes,
Yeah, and I remember, this is funny. I hope AJ won't mind this, but I remember being in the makeup trailer, and they would like, we went from one, obviously one scene to business to like crazy attire, and we're in the chair, and he comes in. And he's like talking to me and like kind of like hitting on me funny, like trying to like be all suave. And I'm like, I kept asking about Brian. I was like, now who's he? What do y'all do? I seriously had no idea. So I'm like, I'm just these kids, because they're younger than me. I think I'm older than all of them.
wow.
And right. And so, but AJ, still to this day, like, I think Brian came up and said, well, I know AJ's been talking to you, but I'm old enough to take you for a drink. So I'm like, well, I love AJ, but I don't want to date him. I love him, but that made me fall in love with AJ because he reminded me of a brother or a good. I mean, all my best friends were boys, so we all we get along like really well. So
AJ's a good dude, man. Good story behind AJ.
Dude.
That's very strong and lots of willpower.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's jump ahead into tour talks, because obviously you've been on a lot of tours with the Backstreet Boys. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
What is your favorite tour that you remember being on? And I know DNA sets itself different because it's an actual experience instead of a tour.
Yes.
But what's your favorite tour that you remember being on with the guys?
Oh gosh, I loved Millennium, honestly.
I bet.
It was super
I bet
fantastic.
you did.
It was super fantastic because it's like when I first met Brian, they were on just the Backstreet Boy tour, and he flew me out to Europe, and that was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. You see those documentaries like Beatles or Elvis where people pass out, and like literally like this trumps everything. Like I remember standing there when I flew over, and Brian's at the time they were doing the Backstreet's Back, where they had doubles as their characters in the Backstreet Boys video. So it was like a werewolf and a mummy and all that. So they had these coffins on stage, and it would turn around. The guys would come out of it, and then their other figures would come out of it. So they had, so Brian's like mummy thing, what was he? It was his werewolf. His werewolf is his brother. And so he doubled for him. So it was perfect that I got to meet Brian's brother, Harold. Did you guys not know this? No. So, and then Pollyanna was there for Howie. I forgot who was next. But everybody had a double, and they would turn around and then their characters would come out. It was pretty cool. I love that tour too, but it was obviously, bare bones. But I remember I almost got left that tour. So it was like, I didn't know what a quick out was. And thank God Brian's brother was there, because I'm standing and they're all just jumping. I'm like, what are we doing? He was like, they're leaving me. I did jump on a bus. He was like, this is a quick out. So I would have been in like Amsterdam or wherever we were, Germany somewhere, getting left at this concert. But there were girls, it was so packed. There were these little girls passed out, and they were standing up because it was so like this. And so the police officers had to come and like pull them out. And then in the back, there was this big basketball court, and they would lay these girls out. So they were laid out like little sardines everywhere, passed out completely. And they were crying. It was pandemonium. It was crazy. It was amazing. That scared the crap out of me. And I almost like said, I don't think I can do this. This is so weird. And then jumped to Millennium, where that was so fantastic. Like everything about that show was incredible. Powerful, the dancers, the stage, the flying, wow, right? And then I think girls would get on stage. I think at this one in the round, a girl got on stage in the round and came up behind Brian and attacked him, and they were up on that little it was crazy, y'all. It was like almost knocked him off the thing. And the security's trying to get up there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it was crazy. And I think about it now. we had to sit in the hall. All the girlfriends, which I mean, I know this is probably another segue, but anybody that was family or girlfriends, they didn't have a family room. They didn't have a room for us to sit in. You sat on the floor in the hallway and you just brought a jacket or something, or on the road cases, because you were not welcome there. Like, honestly, like, girlfriends were like, I don't know, we were like poison or something. And you weren't welcome. We couldn't ride in the same van from the hotel to like the venue. We had to ride in a different one. It was crazy. And the girls would like pull your hair and throw stuff at you if they saw you. Like, it was mean. It was mean.
Dude,
Man.
I can't imagine.
Right, it was scary. You're like scared for your life. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And New York was like the best and the worst, I would say. It was best because all the fans showed. It was incredible. But you would leave somewhere and the fans were like this, and the guards were all like this, and like Brian got scratched across the thing, and like hair got pulled. Like, the guys just got torn up literally from the girls, just trying to get a piece of them. It's crazy.
Were you there at the Backstreet Boys takeover TRL?
Oh no, I wasn't. Wait, was I at that? No. I don't think I went to that one because it was so huge.
Oh, insane.
Like, it was,
yeah,
it was crazy. I would like stay at home and watch that one. It was the time where, before I started traveling with him, it was like, I think we were together like 8-10 months, maybe. Again, I'm bad with time, before his heart surgery. So when we met, we were together a short amount of time. Like, we spent 3 or 4 solid days together. Then he left for 5 weeks on tour. And so our phone bills were jacked up. And I remember he, when I dropped him off at the airport after spending those 3 days together, after shooting the videos, he got out of the car and said, I think I love you. And I'm like, what?
That's our guy. Yeah, straight to the point.
Yeah, right. He totally did. I'm like, it's 3 days. And so he said, I'll call you when I get to, I think they were going to England. And so when he did, I was like, I answered the phone. I'm like, hello. And he's like, hey. And I was like, who's this? Because I swear to God, I did not think he was going to call.
Who's this?
Right, who's this? He's like, oh. But the first thing he did, like, he flew straight to me when that part of the leg of the tour was over. So,
wow,
we literally have been together since the day we met.
Dude, this is exciting, Caleb. This is
is
exciting news, man.
A
I
lot
love
of
this.
first time things I'm hearing. This is really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Good. I know there's so much. We need hours.
Do you want to lead us into our next one, Caleb?
Yeah. So let's see. All right, so this is a really good one, because this is what we definitely want to know all about is what's your favorite BSB song and album?
I don't think I have a favorite album. Like, there's like, this is, I don't know if you know this one. Is it called I Wanna Be With You? You know that song?
Oh, yeah.
Crazy, but it's true. Oh my God. Okay, so that one, when I first saw it and they're doing that little, I was like, this is the best song I've ever heard. I love. That was my first favorite song. I love Siberia. Siberia is like, all-time favorite. Is it? Oh, I love Siberia.
Hey, Caleb is all about it.
I'm always singing it to everybody, and they're like, oh.
No, it's so good. And when the first time they did it on stage, it snowed, and they had all the guys come down. It was so good. Like, seriously, I have chills thinking about it. So that's, and I'm trying to think. I mean, I love all of them, but like Siberia and what is it? I Want to Be With You, right?
Yeah.
It's Max is singing on that one. Yeah. So it's so good.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't expect I Want to Be With You, because not a lot of people, it's such an older song.
Do you know that also the one Brian does on the Booty Call soundtrack, but it's predominantly him. It's do you know this one?
Yeah, I just heard about it. Oh God, Not Climbing the Walls. That'd be
no. Oh God, I love that one too. Like, I love like.
Yeah.
What is it?
Oh, this was news. This was news to me. I didn't know this until a few weeks ago, and then they talked about it on All I Have to Give radio. Gosh, I have it wrote down in our notes. Yeah, Howie does.
I know it's my favorite song. I'll tell you it. And it's funny that I say it's a Booty Call soundtrack, but it is. Babe, what is it?
That was a good movie, by the way. That was a good movie.
It was
90s cult classic. Right? Yeah.
To be happy, babe.
Just tell him to come sing it.
What is my favorite song on the Booty Call that you sing on the Booty Call soundtrack? that if you stay,
If you
If
stay.
you stay. Yes,
it's so
yes,
dang
yes.
good. I'm
Yeah.
like, and I remember when they were playing it, they thought the guys were like urban black guys. You know, they were playing
Yes.
on all the black.
And
No,
they
and they
took
found
it
out it was
out.
the white guys. They ripped that off. They're like, this is not cool. These are white boys that are
I'm
singing.
pretty sure
They
Bill
sounded so good.
Bellamy was in that movie. Bill Bellamy
Yes,
from
yes, Bill Bellamy.
yeah,
You
dude.
want to say hey? Like, you, my husband says hi.
Tell him I said
Not at
hi.
all.
He
Hey, what's up?
What's
B-Rock.
up, Brian?
What's
How's
up,
it going,
man?
man?
What's up, fellas?
What's
How's it
going
going,
on,
buddy?
dude?
How you doing?
We're a
We're
lot
having
better
fun.
now that you guys are here.
Caleb's first
Hey,
show
sorry.
was your Vegas show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. What'd you think, Caleb?
I thought it was all right. The best
He's
part
like,
was,
Wait, Matthew's gonna send me video of how he thought it was all right.
I'll send
was
you a
like-
video of me crying.
It was like
Like,
this.
Wait, Matthew,
Yeah.
what's the first one you ever saw?
It was on my birthday, the day that you guys released the Chances music video in Vegas. I was there on my birthday.
Oh
oh
my
my
gosh.
gosh, what are the
Yeah,
chances?
life changing,
What are
dude.
the chances?
We end up dancing.
Like 2 in a million ones.
Life
crazy.
could not be more perfect right now.
No. Now I'm
See, this is
shaking.
good. Something good came out of COVID.
Yes.
You a Sox fan?
I coach a baseball team. It's the Lincoln Sox out of Lincoln, Nebraska, my man.
Oh, okay. Oh, Lincoln, Nebraska. Okay, I was
Yes,
like,
sir.
oh, white. I mean, I thought White Sox. I was like, man, that's
We steal their logos for our youth
Okay.
baseball team.
Perfect.
perfect.
It's authentic.
Yeah, I coached Bailey in baseball too.
Mhm.
Growing
It's
up. Yeah, I loved it.
Come on.
it's a whole different game, man, because
Yeah,
you're teaching them more about life and discipline and loyalty than anything about baseball, you know?
totally.
Team,
Yeah.
team,
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
Team sports.
Were we the Red Sox?
No, we
What were
were
we?
the Phillies.
Oh, the
We were,
Phillies. We were the Phillies and something.
Trying to remember what else we were. I can't think. We were a lot of teams, a lot of different
Yeah.
squads. So,
That's great. Well, I'm sorry I had to bring him in because I had to ask him. I will go, babe, what was that? This is why we got married in 2000, so I'd always know how long we were married.
so she could do the
I'm
math.
the worst.
Man.
I'm the worst. I'm just kidding. But no, I'm like, it helps. It helps.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Does my makeup look okay?
You look okay. I mean,
yeah.
it's all right,
do
you
look
know?
good.
We got our lights
All
going on
right.
over here.
All right.
Here, look, go back.
Yeah, look better.
Actually, we went to the tan
Yeah.
bed a couple days ago because
Yeah.
we're trying to get our
Trying to get
vitamin
tan.
T.
Come
Yes.
on, man. Come on.
We're gonna have to
You
get a
look so-
beach house.
Every time you shave, you look like, I don't know, just different versus your little patch
Yeah.
that you have right here, man.
Yeah.
I left it.
Oh,
It's-
yeah, you
it's
still
coming
got
back. It's coming back.
He shaved
It's
the
a-
other day and it was gone, and I was like, whoa, like
Yeah. It always
what?
freaks
She's
us
like,
out
"Who are you married?"
when AJ shaves, it freaks us out.
He
Yes.
does
Oh,
us
yeah,
too.
yeah, totally.
Well, it
I
freaked
mean-
us out when he didn't tell us he was shaving his head either for Dancing with the Stars.
Oh,
That
I
really
Dude.
freaked us out. We're like,
Right?
what? Like,
That's so
that
crazy.
we were
Mr. Clean. He was Mr. Clean. I was
Yeah,
like,
he
Yeah.
shocked
Oh,
he
he
shocked the
was-
world, bro. Shocked the world.
he said, I'm speechless.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Oh no, that was freaky. But so you know the guys, I don't know if you saw on our socials, Bailey was Trump and Brian was Biden for
Yes,
Halloween.
yes.
And so Brian went all out and he shaved his face, and I'm like, whoa.
Yes.
I mean, I'm talking clean. I couldn't look at him for like a week and a half. I
I
was
look
like,
like an old man.
yeah, it was weird.
Oh,
And then it
man.
looks like he had like a fat face, which he doesn't, but it,
Yeah.
I'm just like, and it was all white and it was crazy.
We
That's
thought
how
you
it
And I
guys
is.
did the
brought in
makeup.
we thought you guys brought in the team from Backstreet's Back to get you guys all dolled up like that, man. We haven't seen special effects like that forever, you know?
That was-
no.
That was me.
Yeah, that was you. That was
And a
you.
lot of baby powder. What's so funny? You go like this and you
Hit my shirt.
hit it,
It's like,
and the smoke would go out.
Like
from all
LeBron
the baby
James.
powder.
Like
Yeah.
LeBron James. Yeah.
Jeez,
That's right.
man.
That's so funny. That's
Hey,
so
well, I
since
didn't-
since
I
we
didn't mean
have
to-
no,
yeah,
since we
go
have
ahead,
both
go
of
ahead.
you, let's ask this next question. It's a good segue. Touring and life back before Bailey and now touring when you guys had a child, you know, pre Bailey being born. How has
Yeah.
that changed your guys' life?
Oh my gosh, it's flipped it on its head.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Well, it made us get out too, which was really good. We used to like we were so stupid in our younger days because we would be all these beautiful countries and we would be so tired. We'd sleep in and not do any of the like go to the museums or go, the sightseeing because we were just whatever. Now we're like, when we had the baby, we were like, Bailey has to get out. So we saw everything. Like tour changed that way for sure.
Totally. But
And
it also I mean, it changes your perspective on life just in general. It's like it gives you a reason to want to get on stage. Not that the fans don't, but like having a kid, it's like, he's sitting there looking at you like, oh my gosh, like what is this? And this is our job. This is what we do, and this is what he knows. This is what he's grown up in. So but it just flipped our life on its head. I mean, completely. But it taught us a lot of things about sticking together, being tight as a unit, because the world as we know it will try to tear you apart, especially as young parents. And I think I've been able to give the other guys a lot of insight on how that works, because it's tough. We were the first Backstreet parents,
No, that's true. I mean, we had a lot of pushback from them because they didn't know at the time. I mean, they were like young and either newly married or girlfriends or whatever, so they didn't understand a kid on the tour and they didn't love that. So that was tricky and it was hard. Like I said before, we had to sit on the floor. We didn't have like a room to sit in. And we gradually kind of got to go in their dressing room and sit, but they would always have meetings. So they would have meetings an hour before, then the show an hour after. So there was nowhere to go. You sat on a road case. And then when Bailey came along, we made it to where we at least had a room. We call it the family room. So Bailey and I would like homeschool them. So we would do kindergarten in there and we would, we did all this, but the guys had some pushbacks at first and now they're like, they totally get it. Now it's like romper room back there. Like, and there's like a billion kids, so, and the family. So, we were just kind of paved the way a little bit. A lot bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
So crazy though, life on the road.
Yeah. Well, and it's our only life. It was other than that, leaving my kid at home, us being separate, and what kind of marriage is that? So it just
that ain't happening.
No, I mean it just and Bailey and Daddy are close because of it, and he has a great relationship because of it. And this is nothing like new to him. It's just it's just normal. Like it's a normal way of life, So Bailey's like tour, so it's not like it's not upsetting. It doesn't take him out of his comfort zone or away from his friends, things like that. He's just grown up in it. So he kind of born an adult.
Leighanne, I want to ask you first, and then before B-Rock takes off, because this is the Leighanne interview.
Gotta go.
Hey, look at you.
What advice would you give your younger self, Leighanne? And Brian, the same question to you. If you guys were, Bailey's age, where he's actually now he's becoming his own star, what advice would you give yourself back then at 18 years old?
Wow.
I would say stay humble as humanly possible and stay true to yourself. Seeing Bailey grow up in front of the camera, like I'll see him like, oh my God, I was so fat, or I did this, or I answered wrong, or like growing up in the spotlight is a whole different thing. But the good thing with him is, and like the good thing with us, we have that golden rule, do unto others, and so if you take that into your career too, life, and you stay humble. I mean, the thing we get from most people in the entertainment business is you guys are so normal. For him, that's what we've taught him, and I've kind of known that all along. You in your 20s, you get all full of yourself. I say, and very self-absorbed. And I would have. I mean, I think I handled it better, but I think if I would love for someone at my age or for my age to tell me, to more support, I guess, to say, hey, chill out. These things aren't so important, this too, like next year, you'll look at this and laugh, those things were the biggest things because it's not so life and death what's happening,
Yeah.
Your turn, Brian.
It's your turn.
Your turn, Brian.
It's my turn. I'm going to have to agree with Leighanne. First off, it's a lot about just having that continued courage in yourself. That's, I think, what's not to go too deep, but it's like when you have a lot of success and you're young, a lot of times when you reflect on that and you look back, it's kind of daunting to look at what we've done over music history. And and a lot of people like, a freaking frack show. I mean, this is pretty daggone cool to be talking to two dudes that have a show and it's like dedicated to us.
And they don't mind being Backstreet Boy men. Right?
But
we're ready.
I mean, for my young self, I would just be like, I would tell myself to take that talent that you have and never look back. Never think that you have to compare to what you did or what you were, because you're always evolving and you're always growing. And I think that's important. A lot of times I look back too much and thought, wow, what we've done. Or
you weren't in the moment. I remember like when you're on stage with like Elton John and Tony Bennett and they're walking away like it was nothing, because that's what you do in your 20s. You just take everything for granted. And we look back now and we're like, oh my gosh, you're like, you've done some amazing things and performed with some amazing people that, like, wow.
Shania Twain, man. Shania Twain,
That's what the next one on my, I love Shania.
That was a night out in Miami. We did that duet.
Yes.
We did a show there. I love that.
Wow.
She's awesome.
She's I love Shania. Yeah.
That's
actually
something
one
that
of our
makes you
first
guys
songs
different.
together.
Yeah.
You guys have always changed. You guys have always been changing. And it's not that you change with the times, because you guys are your own people, but you're always creating, like we told Leighanne, your family has done something that a lot of people just stopped and is waiting for the pandemic. But you guys have paved the way for Bailey to keep producing music and keep being productive with this time. You guys are different. It's what makes you different.
What makes you different?
Makes you
beautiful.
beautiful.
They know the song they with me.
Yes,
I told them they're gonna be in my house every day when I'm having fun.
Yeah. We will sing Backstreet Boys for you guys, man.
Hey. Since I haven't gotten enough of that over the years.
You can never
That's
get
what we
enough
told
of
Bailey. I was like, Bailey's like, I'm so tired of singing this song. I was like, shut up. You're gonna be singing for 30 years. Shut it.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I think that's important for people to know. Like you can't stop. You can't stop. You have to stay in motion. A lot of us want to watch the news and just kind of you become a hermit. You get scared. You feel like, oh well, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that. Now we will say to be careful, be cautious. But you can't stop living. You just can't stop living. So we figured out Zoom real quick on how to work that, but if we didn't have this technology, we wouldn't be able to reach out to people because everybody's stuck at home,
Not at all, man.
We can't thank you guys enough, man. I mean, to keep creating, and keep.
Thank you.
Like we created our show back in March when the pandemic started because you guys put your guys' tour on hold, and we needed to give people a reason to take their mind off of things and shut it off for a minute, and to know that, hey, you're not in this alone. We're here with you. Everybody's going through this together. Let's be together. I mean, it doesn't have to be a negative thing.
No, absolutely. And I felt guilty when I was like, how is this affecting you? And I was like, it's not, I mean,
not really.
It's not affecting me back because I've just been that person. Yeah. That you just make a way where there's a will, there's a way. You just get going, do not be stagnant. I think that's what, really, really hurts everybody is they just get, and makes me find their weight. I'm just kidding. We already talked about the way. No, but it just stay creative, stay in motion. I just stay in motion, whatever that may be. Right.
Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. Who's frick and who's frack?
I'm frick.
Oh, you're
frick.
That's what I'm saying.
Yay!
Well, Matthew, I've not that I would like to say out loud that I talk to myself, but I'm talking to myself right now with you. I speak to frack a lot, actually, on the regular. but let me sign off here. I just want to say toast to you guys and thank you for keeping everything together this time. And I'm sorry that the tour went down, but there's more shows on the way. We're kicking back up in July as of right now. So No, I'm sorry, June.
June. I was
we'll
gonna
be
say
back.
June. Yeah.
Yeah, June is back in the U.S. I'm supposed to be over in Asia and Australia right now, but
Yeah.
we're home. So
Right,
thank God we're
mhm.
home.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna complain.
Well,
So
hey, Brian, we'll be doing some meet and greets to see you, man.
Yeah,
We're
man.
really
Okay,
excited
That'd be
to meet
so
you.
awesome. Y'all let me
Come
know
on.
now that you have my contact too. Let me know. And by the
Yes,
way,
thank
we
you.
can two-parter this one because if there's
Yeah.
stuff that we don't get to when we run out of time, we can always do this again, do the rest of it
We,
Yeah,
again.
we can
we
come
will
back.
absolutely.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna let you finish out though.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
gonna let
no.
you finish out. So
Love you, Brian.
nice
Thanks,
to meet
bro.
you guys.
Get the
And
chicken out of
Thank you, man.
we'll do it again.
Get the chicken out of the
Absolutely.
Get the
fridge
chicken
for
out of the
me
fridge.
because
Okay.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah, I
mix
gotta
it
go
up.
do husband
Check the
duty.
oven.
Check the oven. Turn off the ribs. Check
Hey,
the fridge.
and we know people, so we can get you guys some tickets.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, man. That's so awesome. Thank you, man.
Hey,
I'm-
Caleb, do you want to take a short break before we get timed out and finish
Yeah,
our
'cause
show
I'm really
off?
emotional right now.
That was crazy.
I've been crying. I've been crying.
Oh my
Like,
God. Oh
I
my
had to
God.
change the
mean,
light
good.
to stop so you wouldn't see the tears in my eyes.
I knew I had to take over the questions because
Yeah.
I know my
I'm
guy
sorry.
Caleb.
Yeah,
Leighanne,
I'm
I
an
love
do
it.
emotional wreck.
you have another 10 minutes for us to finish this off, Leighanne?
I do. I do.
All right,
Okay.
we're gonna take a short break. Nancy's Pizza, this is where your ad would go.
Yes.
All right, guys. You're watching the Frickin' Frack Show podcast for the fans, by the fans. What?
We love you
Gotta
guys.
go.
Get down.
And move it all around. All right, guys,
I
welcome
love that
back to
one
the
too.
Frickin' Frack Show. We got the most beautiful, wonderful
What's up,
Leighanne
guys?
and my co-host, Caleb, Brian, and we're back to finish off our segment with Mrs. Leighanne.
Woo!
First of all, this is definitely one of the top moments of my life. Definitely it's got to be, someone on my deathbed, they'll say, what are 10 moments in your life that made such an impact? And that, this is definitely number one. Like Backstreet Boys, meeting Leighanne, understanding and talking and getting to know her as a person. Brian just coming in.
It's whatever. I mean,
whatever. I mean, he showed up. It was okay. We had to ask him to leave.
yeah,
We politely asked him.
yeah. Well, I mean, at least he left willingly,
Oof, gosh, it's gonna have to call security.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Listen,
That was a great
absolutely.
surprise, and it's just, I'm still shaking, I'm still crying, I'm trying to be a man.
I love that you love him so much. It's making me look bad. So I'm just kidding. I'm like, great. I gotta be this excited going downstairs. Hi, baby.
and then, and I'm frack,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and ask you, I do want to go ahead and get to this because this is really cool. So Matt and I have never been on a cruise ever, Backstreet Boy, whatever, Carnival, whatever. The first cruise we're planning on is going to be the next Backstreet cruise. So we just want to know, we want you to kind of tell us about the experiences of being on the cruise.
Well, cruise is crazy. I mean, literally your liver has to detox after because you literally drink all day, just to get through it. But dressing up and the fans and listen, I love seeing the girls. Like this is like it's way like more intimate and closer up, but they're just so excited and they have a good time. And I wish it was more like the good pros and cons to me about the cruise is like it's like the guys are always having to be on a stage or in an area to where unless they're having their private events, it's a little more intimate. But they're still on a stage, but they at least get to come down and when they're performing because they do like every night you dress up. In the daytime they have like some solo events, and then you have like the VIPs where you go up and take the pictures and then they'll do shows. So it's pretty like your Backstreet dream, honestly, like Backstreet Boys dream. So it's great that way. But boy, when the boat starts rocking, like literally, like the last one, we're like waking up. But but they at least get to like touch you and shake your hand and like really at least be a little more personable than, you know, obviously on stage where they can't take the time and stop the show. Hey, you guys, you know, like, but and take pictures. And so it's a lot of people love it, and they just go back and year after year. I haven't missed one. I know some of the wives are like, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, husband said if I don't go, he doesn't go. So
a lot of preparation.
I guess I'm going. Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. But it's fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun, a lot of crazy ladies. But you know, a lot of people have met each other. Like, I think women and men have met each other and got married, and girls have been like best friends, and you know, all stuck together. It's fantastic. I love it.
That's amazing.
You guys are gonna love it. Or you're
I can't wait.
We're ready. We're ready.
You're ready. I know it's been. I think the one in Europe was the Royal Caribbean. It was obviously a nicer boat and some better food and stuff like that. That was super cool. And the fans were just wild. I mean, wild. We got stuck in an elevator. They're all pressed up like this. We got stuck in a staircase. Like, it's crazy. It's seriously like that Burger King commercial where they're chasing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a
Burger King, are you listening?
Yeah. Your ad can go here.
Right. Love that commercial. It wasn't that long ago I rewatched it.
Did you?
Yeah.
I live. If I just need to know anything about it, guys, I'll call you guys.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do that.
We'll be sure to answer every question.
And Amber America, which is another fan, she's on. She's like the most huge fan in the whole existence of Backstreet world, and well, Brian fan for sure. And if I need to know where Brian is, I just ask her. Amber, where's my husband? Well, he's at the Steak and Shake down the road. She knows everything. I tell her that all the time. I'm like, you know everything, Amber. So
that's incredible. Speaking of which, we do want to give a huge shout out. Someone who's a very big fan of you guys, you and Brian. Like, not just Brian, but you and Brian. His name is Rory. He is the sweetest guy we know. Just super sweet. He said, please let Miss Leighanne know how much I love them. And so we just want to do a big shout out to him, because I said, don't worry, I'm gonna make sure she knows.
Roy, thank you. Rory or Rory?
Rory.
O-R-Y.
Yep.
That's hard to say. Hey, Rory. Rory, we're sending kisses. Thank you for all your love and support. We appreciate it so much.
He'll die inside from that.
Yes, he will. So we were talking, you guys are talking about crazy fans and the insanity of it. I think it's well documented that when the guys went to Brazil on that Black and Blue tour, that the fans got a little intense and a little crazy. We have a question from Michelle Garcia. What does she think about the Brazilian fans? Do you have a memory that stands out while in Brazil with the guys?
Except sleeping.
Yeah.
Except listen, Brazil's amazing. It's like I thank God for the Backstreet Boys because I wouldn't have seen the world. But Brazil is one of my favorite places. The women are, they're passionate and crazy and insane, but they're beautiful. Oh my God, Brazilian women are gorgeous. I have a really funny story though. We were in Brazil and Bailey was with us, and it was the guys had to go, I don't know, to another town or something, and we were leaving and going home, and that's always hard that's hard when Bailey has to say goodbye to dad. And so we got the rest of the day in Brazil because our flight wasn't till like the next day. And so we went out on the beach, and we had this little security with us, and he was watching us from afar, and Bailey and I were laying there, and all of a sudden there's a girl with a gigantic rear end, like huge, but she had a like Brazilian beta, like a beak, like I don't know, it was a Brazilian cut or a G-string, and Bailey couldn't have been like 8, I don't know how old he was tiny, and he was like, Mom. And I was like, well, buddy, he was like, that's the biggest butt I've ever seen. And I'm like, I'm sure it's the nudist butt you've ever seen too. And I was like, well, welcome to Brazil. And like these ladies have the best butts. Like they're gorgeous. They're freaking gorgeous. So But no, we got to go see the Jesus. We got to we have done so. It was amazing. Like how you could leave Brazil, it kills me. It's just fantastic, wonderful. I love the ladies. I love their passion. They're just incredible. And
Wow.
they're too beautiful because I
Yeah,
don't know. They're just
I do
skin's
know.
amazing. I'm like,
I do know.
you do know.
They look
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
better
And
than
I'm
me,
like,
that's for sure.
that's where you guys would need to go if you were single on a Backstreet Boys show.
We'll
Holy
do a
cow.
frickin' frack episode from Brazil
Yes.
girlfriend.
Wow.
With
With
our
your
girlfriend
girlfriend. Yeah.
with the wives and
Well,
girlfriends you have yet.
Yeah. I was gonna say if what they know you are, they'll be like the girls
Yeah.
will go crazy knowing who you are. But I'll tell you, I love them. They're probably one of my favorite, like as far as groups of girls in a country, for sure.
She's gonna love that.
Yeah.
She's gonna love it. Let me see. I'll go ahead and ask you this one because I think it's kind of cool. Do you have any upcoming projects or things that you want to do?
Things that I want to do. It's so funny. Like, I directed him, like I wrote and directed and produced basically his first single, Don't Knock It. I took all the footage for Boxes and like I'd done all that and then had somebody edit it and put it together for us. But we'll do another video, but I would love to like direct, honestly. I don't have anything lined up now, but I'm obviously his manager, his record label. We've kept it independent and I'm really glad we have because this pandemic has really, thrown us for a loop as far as, they're just dropping people left and right. And oh my gosh, even Live Nation had to drop half their people, so we've got a really good team together. So Bailey's gonna have a show coming up in March, I think St. Patrick's Day here.
Awesome.
But as far as me, like, I don't know. I mean, I've got a few things. I might get back into the business a little bit, but my time has been filled with, Bailey and making sure, because I grew up in this business. And then of course, the hardcore part of it, the past 20 something years of our 20, let's see, what year is it? 21,
27.
So we've been together like 24 for me. So I'm 24 with the guys. So that's taught me so much that to us to take Bailey and like guide him and so he doesn't get into another Lou Pearlman situation like that. We've just been right there. So I'm thankful that we have the experience we've had and that we paid attention and we absorbed all the things we needed to guide him.
And we really admire that. Like, and I hugely admire that you said, you guys are staying independent as an artist. Because I mean, I know some people personally who have made some horrible decisions, and it wasn't them; it was because someone else controlled them, controlled everything they do. So really, great job staying independent, not giving into that, really.
It's super hard though. Like it's super expensive. It's super hard. Like people don't take you, seriously. So that's been another one. So if we did ever like join with a label, it would have to be a joint label, or we know what not to give up now. From what the guys went through for so long and the battles we've had to fight and the money they'll never see. It's so funny. Everybody's like, they're so rich. What they don't realize is, you take this lump of money, you pay your crew, you pay the tour cost, you pay the managers, you pay taxes, everything comes out, that then you get paid last, and then the money you have split 5 ways. Like it's not what people think. So you just have to manage your money wisely, things like that. And that's what I try to teach Bailey.
Definitely.
I've got it. I've got an insider baseball question. Okay. And if you want, we can cut this out. But this is a question that Caleb and I have been asking on all 24 episodes of our podcast.
Okay.
What
the world needs, in a world like this, that song. They need it now more than ever. I've wanted to ask this for forever. Well, or what is the reasoning behind not singing? I guess you wouldn't know the exact answer, but what are your thoughts on a world like this? Because we need that song now more than ever.
Yes. So what's the question?
Why will it be on tour? Will it be on a set?
Oh, why don't they sing it? That's what you said?
Sure. Yes.
Wait, no, I'm just trying to understand the question.
Like, let's just ask in this way: what is it going to take to get the boys to sing it?
In a world like this, they sang it. Which tour was it on?
In a world like this.
Is that what the tour was?
Yeah.
Is it called In a World Like This? Yo,
Yeah.
I've been through so many. I don't even know. I don't know why they don't sing it. I have to ask husband. I mean,
Dang.
because I love it. I mean, like, husband. I don't know why. This last show that they did, they have so many songs that they had to, hone down. Exactly. Why don't y'all sing In a World Like This? You guys want to know what's it gonna take?
He's like, I don't know.
He said it might take a world like this to make him sing a world like this.
Exactly.
The guys are saying yes. They're like, in a world like
Yeah.
You guys may have added it in the show just now. Look how powerful you are.
Oh man, the world thinks.
Hey, have you guys seen the DNA World Tour?
Yes, sir.
We've seen it four times for me.
What?
Four times.
4 times, Caleb?
Yes, sir.
I was on fire.
We actually high-fived each other. Let's see, 3 or 4 times from you.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
He was like.
He's like.
New Orleans, Lafayette. Great shows, man. Oh my goodness, DNA was beautiful.
You're killing him. You know that. I said he's making me look bad because he's all excited. And I'm like, now I have to go downstairs going, oh honey, I love you.
I had
I'm like,
to take a break. I had to walk away and go cry to my girlfriend out there and just say like.
So no, we should be added in. It should be our theme song
right
for the
now,
world today.
We need it more than ever. We need it more than ever, man. That's a beautiful song. Beautiful.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, I'm just gonna say there's some BSB stuff cooking. We've got the DNA World Tour is gonna kick back up in June. God willing, everything goes well. But there's some stuff that might be coming in like February. We'll see.
Hold on, let me write that down. Inside.
Hot off the press. You write that down. I wrote Nancy's Pizza down. I mean, you write the good stuff. I write the food.
Yeah. Also, Vortex Bar.
Vortex, yes. Where's
that
this one, he was asking me in Atlanta. This one was asking me about this pizza place that we've never been to, but it's downtown. So we're like 45 minutes away from downtown.
Yeah.
So
I live like 5 minutes away from downtown.
I was gonna say like Atlantic Station area or whatever.
Yeah, I lived on John Wesley Dobbs in the 4th Ward.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I love Atlanta.
I think it's called. But yeah, they it was a bunch of crack houses and they turned them into these huge condos. Like
cool.
It was like a $600,000 condo that I got to stay in for 3.5 years. A friend of mine gave it to me and said, you need to get out. You work too much. Just go ahead and leave your city and just go start traveling. I traveled over 40 states in 3 years. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That's awesome.
You went on tour.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think you paid,
That's awesome.
Definitely.
So we can count on In a World Like This at some point within the next 5 years.
5 years. We'll give it 5 years.
5 years. That's
yeah. I mean, it's kind of it is kind of crazy to think about it, because that was written by Max Martin, who wrote all of our smashes, and to think about the state of the world, it all comes back. And it's very symbolic about where we are right now.
Yep.
It's your theme song.
Yeah, it should be the theme song.
Right.
In a world like this, but love right now. I'm trying to sound like Nick. Oh, we gotta make it.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I still like those guys on the record.
Yes, absolutely. It was 100% the same.
All right, guys. I know we didn't get to all the things we wanted to talk about, but my mom's birthday. Let's do this again. Matter of fact,
let's do part
let's
2.
Do it again. Let's do part 2, and then we'll have Bailey join us too. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Absolutely.
Get a screenshot of this, and then we can.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much.
Hey, Brian.
I hope you're taking my Backstreet Boy.
why don't you go ahead and you can sign us out. Say, this is the Frickin' Frack Show, a podcast for the fans, by the fans.
Okay.
All right, guys. You're watching the Frickin' Frack Show podcast for the fans, by the fans. What?
We love you guys.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.